We are on the verge of a huge change that has never been seen before. The Earth and all of its people are going through a deep transformation. These changes make us think about the big philosophical questions that have been brewing in our minds for a while. What does Earth look like in the fifth dimension? How are we going to get used to this new world? What does that mean for the future of our species? Many ideas have been sparked by these questions, and each one gives us a glimpse of the possible paths that lie ahead. We will look into these ideas today, but not as solid proof of what will happen. Instead, we will see them as pieces of a bigger puzzle that might help us figure out what the future holds. Dolores Cannon, who is well known in the area of metaphysical research, has made a big contribution to this conversation. Different levels or densities are said to separate the old Earth from the new Earth, which is what her work is about. Cannon says that there are two versions of Earth. One is based on third density frequencies, and the other is based on fourth and fifth density frequencies. This split is not just a physical one, it's also a vibrational one that has a lot to do with our chakra energies and the awareness of all people. We move from a society based on the third chakra, the solar plexus, which controls personal power and authority, to one based on the fourth and fifth chakras, which control the heart and throat, respectively. The energy center that gives us a sense of who we are and our power is the third chakra, which is in the solar plexus. Men have traditionally been linked to this gut-based awareness, which often shows up in ways that are out of balance and lean toward a self-centered mindset. There are many ways that this imbalance has led to the tough situations and battles we face today. Society is based on this chakra because we need to feel in charge of our surroundings and keep our sense of power, even if it means sacrificing harmony and working together. We start to connect more with the fourth density consciousness, which is linked to the heart chakra as a whole, as we awaken to higher states of consciousness. As the center of love, kindness, and unity, the heart chakra is a big change from the third chakra, which was all about the self. People who have become aware of this truth know that life is more than just the body and the material world. And they know that vibration is the key to enlightenment and that an open heart chakra lets you link with the universe more deeply and see beyond the limits of the three-dimensional world. Some ideas say that as we keep growing, the fifth density will show up, and we will move from the fourth density's heart-centered awareness to the fifth density's throat chakra. When we reach this level of existence, we can make our thoughts come true right away, which fits with the idea of the fifth dimension. In this world, we can switch between our physical and light bodies whenever we want it. These ideas about the fifth layer may be based on true stories from the past, like those about the Anunnaki and the Egyptian gods who were said to change shapes. So how do we make this huge change? Some people think that when we die, we will be born into a world that is very different from the one we live in now. A more nuanced view, on the other hand, says that the change will be less obvious than we think. The shift from dystopia to paradise might not happen all of a sudden and drastically. Instead, it might look like a copy of our current Earth. This process, which is like how cells naturally divide during mitosis, could create two identical canvases. The decisions we make and the frequencies we align with will cause each world to slowly change. The idea of living in parallel worlds that are separated by awareness and vibration fits with the idea of how we evolved as a species. People will make very personal decisions about which Earth to choose, based on the forces of fear and love that run through our lives. The next 4 years are especially important because they will decide what kind of Earth we live on in the end. Not our past choices that make us make this choice, but the choices we make right now. Dolores Cannon said that we can free ourselves of all karma by letting go of the things that are holding us back, like fear and bad ties. Trauma, which can be thought of as fear kept in the body, will be a big topic of discussion during this time of change. We will be tested on how we handle darkness and low noises over the next few years as a species. We need to be able to forgive, show compassion, and be ready to move on from our traumas in order to create a new world. Over the last few months and years, our bodies have been getting ready to hold more light and awareness. This training is very important for when the facts about our world are made public. Responding with lower vibrations will only keep up the circle of negativity that has been going on for thousands of years. We have an easy but important choice to make. We can keep sending bad energy into the old system, or we can rise above it by holding on to the light and loving each other. More we align with higher frequencies, faster the alchemy of darker energies will happen. This will change our world more quickly and deeply. Every bad choice we make ties us to the old earth, but every good choice we make moves us toward the new. Astrologically, we are in a time called the Pluto return, which is a time of big changes and chaos. It takes about 250 years for Pluto, the planet of secrets and death, to make one full circle around the sun. The return of this animal means that hidden facts will be revealed, and we will be able to learn from our mistakes. The last time Pluto came back was when the Declaration of Independence was being written. This was a time of great change and rebirth for all people. Pluto is getting close to 27 degrees of Capricorn, which means a big change is about to happen. We can learn from history that cycles happen again and again. And here we are at a turning point again. The task for us is to see the patterns in the past and decide to move on from them. Now is a time of breakup and shakeup, when old systems are taken apart to make room for new ones. The next 4 years will be very important in deciding who will move on to the next stage of evolution and who will stay in the third density world. David Wilcock says that these cosmic cycles happen every 26,000 years and that we are now at a key point in the precessional equinox. Wilcock says that people who aren't ready to rise will have to wait until the next wave. Dolores Cannon, on the other hand, said that people who don't want to move into higher worlds will keep traveling on third-density planets and do their karma at their own pace. After this time of change is over, Pluto will move into Aquarius and stay there for 20 years. During this time, people will be rebuilding, and ideas like free energy, getting rid of debt, and ending homelessness will become more important. People will start to think like a group, and the good of the group will be more important than their own personal gain. We will change the roots of our future during this time, which is called the New Earth. Being alive at this point in time is a very rare chance. People who are afraid of this time will have a rough time because they won't be able to see the bigger picture. Those who choose the road of love and light, on the other hand, will be safe on their liftoff. As the Earth's vibrations rise, our bodies will change from being carbon-based to being crystalline. This will bring us closer to the higher worlds. The Schumann resonance, which measures the planet's heartbeat, has recently reached levels that have never been seen before. This means that love is growing on Earth, and time is speeding up. We still use a 24-hour clock, but our days feel more like 16 hours instead of the 24 hours they used to, so time seems to be moving faster. This change in time started in 1987 and went on until 2012. It was the start of a new era. The Pleiadians have talked about this speeding up and said that the changes we are seeing now started many years ago. There was a change to a parallel world that happened in line with the Mayan calendar and prophecy, even though we may not have seen the changes right away. Even though darker forces tried to take over our world, the New Age has arrived, and their plans have been foiled. There are now only 2 options left in the timeline split: organic ascent or transhuman integration. This decision has a huge impact on everything. We have to decide whether to keep our divine nature or turn into cyborgs linked to a mainframe with artificial intelligence. Going down the transhumanist path will trap you deeper in the matrix, where things can keep using our energy. The road of love and light, on the other hand, leads to ascension and the development of our species into beings of the 4th and 5th densities. We will change the way people are taught in the New Earth so that they focus on creativity and faith. These systems will teach us how to control our many-dimensional selves, which will let us change between physical and non-physical forms. To get to the 5th dimension, you have to learn 5 stages of initiation, and each one builds on the last. Mastering the ego in the physical body and learning to say no to temptations that bring down our energy is the first step. As part of the 2nd initiation, we learn how to control our astral bodies and combine them with our physical bodies. This makes us ready to help others. The third initiation is all about the rules of creative thought, which give us the power to change matter with our minds. The fourth initiation is one of great sacrifice, and we spend our whole lives trying to figure out the mysteries of the world. Finally, in the fifth initiation, we become fully aware, let go of all our bad karma, and begin the process of ascension. We are closer than we think, even though it seems like a long way to go to finish these initiations. These days, the world is a mess. This means that old systems are breaking down, which makes room for new ones. We are being asked to take on higher frequencies and align ourselves with the awareness of the new Earth as we go through this change. Finally, the idea of going to the fifth dimension and making the new Earth is not just a mysterious or esoteric one. We are all a part of this very real and important process, whether we know it or not. By deciding to connect with higher frequencies of love, compassion, and unity, we help bring this new world into being. These next few years are very important, and the decisions we make today will affect the future of our world and our species. Make a smart choice with an open heart and an awareness of the bigger picture of the universe.